Hello, class. Welcome to Take Your Parent to School Day. It's a cute little thing I came up with. See, it's a play on words because usually people do Take Your Child to Work Day, but I'm doing Take Your Parent to School Day. See how the words are flipped around? I'm so sad. Well, our first parent-child combo is Angelina and her father, Dale.
Hi everyone, my name is Angelina, and this is my dad. Dad, what do you do? I forgot.
Oh, honey, you're so funny. I'm an electrician, remember? You said it was so cool that I work with electricity.
I don't remember ever saying that ever in the entirety of my life, which has been pretty short so far, so I think I would remember saying
Come over here for a second. Let me just talk to you. I kind of need you to play along with me here. Like, could you just kind of pretend that my job is really interesting and cool? Can you do that for Daddy?
Your job is really lame, though.
Yeah, I know, but just like... lie.
Dad, how many times have you told me that liars are bad people?
No, they are, but just this one time. It's really cool to lie.
I don't know.
I'll give you $5.
My dad has the coolest job ever made.
Thanks, sweetie.
Right. I think we're going to move on to our next parent-child combo. Please welcome Lil Tammy and her father, Big Vito.
Hey there, everybody. This is my dad, Big Vito. He's the head of the Vito crime family in New York.
That's really cool.
It's a little cool. It's not really cool.
Are you really the head of the Vito Mafia family?
Yeah, that's me.
Wow, that's incredible. What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, every day I wake up, I eat a nice cannoli for some good sustenance, and then I extort local businesses. I make a lot of money, and then normally I launder that money, and I usually end up in prison for tax evasion. But because I don't pay my taxes, I got a lot of dough left over, so I just tip off the gods, get out of jail, and then I go home. I have a nice meal, some pasta, some cannoli with my family, and I always, and I do mean always, pay my taxes, if you know what I mean. You know.
Yeah, that sounds really illegal, actually, and I don't really want this man setting an example for my daughter.
Dad, I'm trying to listen to the cool man. Could you please not interrupt? Excuse me, Mr. Vito?
Oh, please. Mr. Vito was my father. You can just call me Big Vito.
Oh, okay, Big Vito. How does one evade taxes?
You want to learn how to evade taxes? Do a little tax evasion.
Yeah.
Well, let me let you in on some of the tools of the trade. So first off, the number one rule you gotta remember is you never ever pay any of your taxes.
I don't really appreciate you telling my daughter how to evade her taxes.
Hey, would you stop being such a square, Dale?
First off, little missy, that's Mr. Feldman to you. And secondly, I have to say, how in the world did you get all of that cash?
Tax evasion.
You don't have taxes to evade. You're an 8-year-old.
Yeah, I told you, I don't pay my taxes.
Yeah, but you don't have taxes to not pay. You're a child, and childs don't have taxes, because...
Dad, could you please let the people with important jobs speak?
My job is important?
This guy.
It is! Big Vito.
Hey, that is Mr. Vito to you, sir.
Mr. Vito. Say you're eating cannolis in your house.
Mansion.
You're eating cannolis in your mansion. How do you see the cannolis?
I mean, I got a cannoli. I have my eyes. I'm looking at it. There's a light source that
Okay. Where's the light coming from?
A lamp.
Exactly. And that lamp is powered by...
Now, Dale, I'm going to have to ask you to stop interrupting.
Come on! You know what? It's totally fine. I don't need this. I'm an upstanding citizen, and I will not be pressured to break the rules just because it looks cool. I bet you're going to end up in prison for all your tax fraud, and your mafia exploits. And there'll just be good old Dale standing triumphantly over the ashes, fixing your electricity. I take pride in the fact that my child will have a good role model to look up to, but she'll never stoop to the level of avoiding her taxes or committing crimes, because I raised her to be a good, honest young woman. And
Excuse me, Big Vito, can I join your mob and avoid taxes with you?
Sure. You seem like a pretty cool kid. You know what? Your gang name will be Little Ange. Welcome to the Vito crime family.
All right. Lil Ange, if you want to be part of the gang, you gotta say the special initiation phrase with us.
All right, what do I gotta say?
Freedom
Freedom
of
Fighter
from
Go to
Boarding
College!
College!
It's Exit 17!
1, 2, 3.
Jesse Russo, John Scoot, Aiden Stockton, Felicia Urias, Joshua Powell, Charlotte McJamie, Rachel Rowland, Colleen Berry, Rebecca Swenson, Tess Harden, Miranda Taylor, and your host, MJ and Eliza Hudson.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Exit 17. I'm excited to be back, even if we're not truly live. Now, before we get started, have you guys seen my sister? I tried to call her before the show, but she wasn't answering. I figured she was sleeping, or she's messing with me and she's hiding in the auditorium somewhere. Kenzie, can you guys help me find her? She really likes to mess around at super inappropriate times, so I wouldn't be surprised if she was just hiding somewhere. I swear I'm gonna kill her.
Don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the present underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true.
Alright, can we cut the music?
Hey,
It's November 7th. You need to calm down.
Christmas starts November 1st. Get with the program.
Is that why you missed tech? And why you wouldn't pick up your phone? So you could come on stage looking like Regina George at the talent concert?
Yeah, duh. All of the above. I live for dramatic entrances and exits.
Are you actually going to be wearing that the whole show?
I tried. The producers told me I couldn't.
Oh my god.
You know I go all out for holidays. Remember what I did for Halloween this year? And what I do for 4th of July? And National Ice Cream Day?
That's not even a national holiday. I also don't remember taking that picture with you. Where did you get that?
Don't worry about that.
Okay, so I probably should have seen this coming.
Yeah, duh.
Well, just so you know, I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to keep joking about this.
Yeah, joke away. At least I look cute.
According to who?
Mom,
When did Mom say that?
I texted her before the show. Just,
Okay, well, she's your mom. She has to say that.
Are you saying our mom is wrong?
Well, she definitely is this time.
I came here in a Santa hat, performed a whole song for you.
You sang like
I
2 lines.
I came here to have a good time, and honestly, I feel so attacked right now. I am revoking the gift I got for you.
You had a gift for me?
Yeah, well, I did, but I think it's gonna have to go to someone more deserving. So, literally anyone but you.
Can I at least know what it was? Wow, that's actually a pretty good gift.
Yeah, I'm a fantastic gift giver. You know this.
So is that it? I don't get anything now? Did you put me on the naughty list?
You put yourself on the naughty list.
How dare you?
Well, we'll see how your behavior and treatment of me changes throughout the show. Maybe, if you can muster the ability to compose yourself and act like a decent human being for once in your life, maybe I'll reconsider.
That's gonna be really tough.
Oh, suck it up, Buttercup.
That's heartless, and that's not with the Christmas spirit.
Speaking of the Christmas spirit and gift giving, have any thoughts on what you're going to get me for Christmas?
You haven't told me what you wanted yet.
Well, I finally figured it out.
Yeah, and what would that be?
Well, it's going to be a little bit tricky to get.
Mackenzie, this is me you're talking to. I can get anything.
Anything?
Yeah, pretty much.
So Bradley James shirtless with a bow under my Christmas tree wouldn't be too much to ask for?
What? I can't get you that.
What, because he's in England? Fine. I'll have Chris Evans shirtless in a bow under my Christmas tree instead, okay? He's in Massachusetts. It should be a lot easier for you to do.
I can't go and just get you Chris Evans. That's kidnapping.
Okay, well, how you get my gift is completely up to you. I'm not suggesting anything. I would.
Mackenzie, I'm not getting you Bradley James or Chris Evans or any person for Christmas. I'm not going to jail for kidnapping charges.
Fine. Well, I guess I'll have like something stupid, like I don't know, like a longboard or like AirPods.
See,
or
that's
whatever.
definitely more doable.
Well, besides, it's all in the spirit of giving and generosity, right?
I think you're in the spirit of something else.
Okay, we're gonna keep it PG. Any thought of what you want for Christmas?
Do you even have the money for it?
Let's go with yeah.
Well, I guess what I would want for Christmas more than anything in the world is world peace, the end of world hunger, and Chia Pet Crocs.
That last one sounds amazing. Is that what you actually want?
Nah, I'm just joking. That's not even doable. I actually just want to sleep.
That's it? You could just like go over to your room right now, climb into bed, close your eyes.
No, I want like forever sleep. Like hibernation, but spring never comes.
Okay. Yeah, I can try. It might take a few illegal moves and whatever, but like I can definitely do that. Let me talk to my chloroform guy. I got a great chloroform guy.
Speaking of covering your face with a rag, there's been a lot of COVID restrictions put in place in the last couple days.
Yeah, as COVID cases are on the rise around the country, Massachusetts made some rules that require people to stay at home after 10 p.m. and emphasize the importance of wearing a mask indoors and outdoors.
Gordon has emphasized these actions on our campus as well, and has been encouraging students to wear masks whenever you're inside or outside, even when social distancing is possible. However, there is one member of the Gordon community that hasn't been wearing a mask at all.
Yeah. I'd wager to say that I have never seen this person in a mask. And that person is Scotty Lyon.
How could you, Scotty? You're putting all of us at risk.
Yeah. I don't see a mask over those fangs. Whenever he talks to me, I can feel his warm, germ-filled lion breath uppercut me in the nostrils.
Yeah, and his breath smells like old antelope, bad lane food, loneliness, and the desperation to get married as soon as possible. It's really awful.
I think my other Christmas wish this year would be for Scotty to cover up his gross, gaping lion mouth. How about you?
Honestly, that sounds perfect, considering my other wish was fulfilled.
And what wish is that?
To be back here for Exit 17.
Before we continue with our show, we want to take a moment to talk about something that's been on our hearts here at Exit 17. We're all fully aware of the events of the past week, and it has weighed very heavy on our hearts. Racism has no place on this campus. It has no place in the kingdom of God. We stand with our brothers and sisters of minorities as they perilously fight a long and hard battle. As it says in John 13:34, A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another just as I have loved you. You are also to love one another. Tonight, we're very excited to share our evening with you in celebration of life, love, and laughter. We've got some great content planned for you guys tonight, starting with this video.
Hi. I don't know when someone will find this, but the year is 2020 and everything has gone horribly wrong. But what we've seen is just the beginning. And if you're watching this, then that means...
Anthony, dinner's ready, hon! Oh, why on earth have you turned out all the lights?
Mom, I told you I'm filming something important here and not to interrupt me.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to make sure you were coming down for dinner.
Dinner. This is literally the most important thing in the world and you interrupt me
Hey,
for...
don't get that tone with me now.
Right, I'll be down in a minute.
All right, honey. I love you.
Thanks. I love you too. Anyway, as I was saying, what we've seen so far is only just the beginning. It started with the virus, and then the violence, and then the fires, but it all fell apart with the unexpected election of President-elect Bernie Sanders. And since then, we've...
Hey, bud. How have you been? I feel like we haven't talked in a while, and I just feel like it's my responsibility as a father, to connect with my son. Because, well, I love you, son.
Dad, I told you guys that I was filming something important and not to interrupt me, so just leave me alone.
Okay, son, but just be well.
Whatever. Just leave me alone, please. Anyway, I'm making this video to share the truth with future generations. I need to tell you what I know. The truth is, there's a massive conspiracy underneath the corporation formerly known as Blockbuster Video. It's not the Russian government that runs those mechanical birds all around the country. It is indeed Blockbuster Video. And I have proof that this is the case. Mom, I told you I was coming down in a minute.
Well, hurry up, your ravioli is getting cold.
Sorry about that. I need to let whoever finds this know what led to the demise of we that were before you. Our hubris led to the greatest of achievements, but it also became our downfall. When the Soviets took control of the US's mechanical surveillance birds, all hell broke loose. But when the Bosnians started their raid on the Greater Britain area, that's when we discovered that they must have found me. I won't let them hide the truth. England is just a farce. See, the Bosnians, on their raid, they discovered that it's just a Wakanda-style facade in which the Soviets have their bird manufacturing factories. And there they hire... Oh my... Whoa! England is not real. It's not real. It is just a farce, and no one will admit it. But this may seem big. But we haven't even begun to unravel the deepest depths of this conspiracy.
Anthony! Oh, is that you? Oh my gosh, it's me, your longtime best friend Marcus. Oh, I know we haven't talked since middle school, but I just wanted to let you know that I deeply regret losing contact with you. Oh, but honestly, I just keep thinking about you. I mean, don't you think it's divine providence that we just happened to meet today? Oh, I know we can reconnect with our friendship. We were meant to reconnect. Oh, we could reforge our friendship.
Marcus, this is not the moment to bring your grandiose delusions into my life. I don't know if you thought we were friends, but this is not the right time. I'm here trying to make a video trying to explain all that is going on. And
I'm sorry. I just thought
Well, you thought wrong, Marcus. Marcus, what even kind of a name is that? And what? You think you can come here and rekindle our long-lost friendship? We were never friends! What? I let you borrow my pen twice in middle school? Twice! And I didn't even want to let you borrow it the second time. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because it smelled like Swiss cheese. How did you do that? How did you get your nasty Swiss cheese smell all over my beautiful pen? I used it today. And what did my room smell like? Swiss cheese, Marcus. Swiss cheese. Oh, and the sleepover. You peed my bed. How did you manage to do that? How? You slept on the couch. You slept on the couch and you managed to pee my bed. Now just go, Marcus. Go and leave me alone.
Okay.
Oh, go away, you coward. Oh, see, where was I? Right, England is not real. And the Soviets just use it to manufacture their surveillance bird drones. That's all they use it for. That's all it is. That's all it ever has been. But there's one thing the Soviets don't know. They don't know that the electromagnetic frequency at which they run their surveillance bird drones is the exact same frequency on which the SETI transmitters operate. And every single time that they spy on us, they're sending a signal thousands of light years across space to a civilization far, far away. And so, they keep transmitting these signals over and over and over. And who?
Anthony! What are you doing out here in the middle of the day for?
Mom! Mom, I came outside so I could get away from you as far as possible.
Well,
What
I
do you-
don't know about all that, but I didn't want you to go off on an empty stomach.
Mom, this is not the time for ravioli.
Well, I also made garlic bread.
Well, garlic bread?
Yes?
I think I have a minute for that. Okay, so basically, aliens are being summoned to Earth by Russia's robotic birds, which they store in the Greater Britain area, which doesn't actually exist. Well, that's the main point, so I guess we're good. Whatever. At least whoever found this, at least you know what happened.
Anthony, where are you? Are these guys your friends? Do they want some ravioli too?
Good evening, I'm Tess Hartley. And I'm MT. And this is Hemlock Tonight. Good evening, I'm Tess Hartley. And I'm MT. And this is Hemlock Tonight. Good evening, I'm Tess Hartley. And I'm MT. And this is Hemlock Tonight. This is an intervention. You may notice we just gave you a whole lot of unnecessary, unsolicited information. You didn't ask for it. You didn't like it. You probably all didn't need to hear it. So, what could this possibly remind me of? The email chain that accidentally went out to all student employees last Saturday. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, our dear friend Zach Papageorge had a brief question about timesheets and accidentally emailed all student employees instead of the Student Employment Office, making an email chain that included most of the student body population. This created the perfect platform for some students to send a total of 62 reply all messages that graced our inboxes discussing anything from cats to politics to Cheez-Its to whatever other pointless things people felt inclined to tell all of us. You know who you are. And we're not mad. We're just disappointed. And also very mad. In other news, a much more important and relevant email went out mid-October in regards to the spring schedule. Our winter break has been extended until February 1st.
And that means we're going to miss out on a lot of holidays together, including the famous Christmas at Gordon celebration.
So, to pay tribute to our Christmas traditions, the other holidays we won't be celebrating together, and an extremely long winter break in general, we have written you a little song.
It's beginning to look a lot like finals. Everywhere you go, take a look at the stressed students, drowning in work and tests, with coffee cups and sleepless nights.
Oh no! It's beginning to look a lot like Thanksgiving. Food on every plate.
But the prettiest sight to see is the break that will be after remote learning.
And weeks of holiday baking
And politics breaking out in the living room den.
boredom is here and it's our greatest fear.
But then friends call me now and then.
And Mom and Dad can hardly wait for school to start again. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go, there's a tree in the living room, and relatives all on Zoom. Oh, Grandma's on mute.
Don't unmute her.
I know.
It's beginning to look a lot like New Year's.
I'm praying for a year of plenty.
And the thing that'll make us sing is the hope
A new year will bring hope. It's better than 2020. Oh. Oh.
It seems like everyone and everything is getting ready for 2020 to be over, including Salem ending Halloween early and the weather last week.
Gordon's campus was hit by a fairly substantial snowstorm a day before Halloween.
The snow covered carved pumpkins and red and orange leaves on trees, temporarily making Floridians and Californians jump for joy, and New Englanders grimace with the thought of a long winter ahead.
Even our Gordon's Campus Events Council is getting into the winter spirit with hot chocolate packets outside of Lane, Christmas bingo, and Thanksgiving goose.
Thanksgiving Goose carries on the Gordon Golden Goose tradition as a night of comedy and competition between each class.
Get ready to see elderly freshmen, childish seniors, and middle-aged sophomores and juniors battle it out on November 14th.
In other news, we think it's time to address the elephant in the room.
Yes, some other more serious news has arrived for us this fall.
Those of us on Gordon campus gathered around screens and watched, read, and heard about the president.
Can't believe that this is happening.
Did you think this was going to happen?
Honestly, everyone's response just took me a little bit off guard.
I don't know what to expect moving forward.
Guys, DML is leaving.
Gordon's president shared some news, casually, in mid-October that after 10 years he is stepping down from his role and Gordon will be searching for a new president in the spring. What kind of president are you hoping for in the future?
Well, the biggest thing I hope that many of us are wanting is a person who fosters protection, equality, and unification of all students regardless of gender, sexuality, background, and race on campus.
I agree that there needs to be action taken at the administrative level, but us at Hemlock tonight are so thankful to stand with other students and faculty that will not tolerate racist acts and instead unite with our brothers and sisters in Christ to create a better environment for future students at Gordon College and around the world.
Speaking of around the world, for those of you who came to our last show, we know you all have been anxious to hear what on earth has happened to our dearly beloved Buddy the Beefalo.
The escaped buffalo cow hybrid has been roaming the East Coast for several months now, and as of a couple days ago, is still free.
Some might say there is definitely more pressing news out there, but we thought that this was incredibly important. Freedom for Buddy the Beefalo, guys. Say it with me!
Alright, maybe there is more important news. Santa is an essential worker.
Okay. But Buddy, Santa, Buddy, Santa, Buddy!
Buddy. I recognize that it is still before Thanksgiving, and we have talked a lot about Christmas this show, but if you won't stop talking about Buddy, then the people need to see the abomination that was our freshman year Exit 17 cold open costumes. So, Buddy the Elf, would you like to make a statement?
Nope. Nope. Please take it down. Please take it down.
As I was saying, many have been concerned with how the COVID-19 pandemic will affect Christmas plans. But never fear, Santa has been named an essential worker due to his vital role in boosting Christmas cheer. Why are you raising your hand?
I'm just making sure that I'm allowed to speak without freshman year pictures being exposed.
Yes, you can talk.
Want to know something that doesn't boost my Christmas cheer?
Tell me.
Murder hornets.
That's old news. Murder hornets were a thing in, May? We don't have to worry about those.
Oh, no. 2020 has given us yet another surprise. Murder hornets are back. Washington State discovered a whole nest of them in Blair, a city north of Seattle.
Wait, Seattle?
Yes, Seattle.
Seattle.
Yes, Tess. How many times do I have to say this? Space Needle, always rainy, Starbucks, iCarly, Seattle.
I'm from Seattle. I'm going home to Seattle in 3 weeks.
Well, it was really nice knowing you, Tess. Looks like we're going to need a new Hemlock co-host for next semester if anyone's interested. Are you good?
No! Between snow in October and the murder hornets and the election, I'm just very stressed right now.
Yes, the election.
The country was at a standstill in one of the closest and most drawn-out presidential races in history.
It took them almost as long to count the ballots as it took Gordon to decide to give us inner hall visitation. But definitely not as quick as Gordon took it away.
Despite the chaos and anxiety that surrounded the presidential race, it has begun to draw to a close. And this election season made history in several other ways.
The 2020 election saw the highest number of voter turnout in American history. 160 million Americans cast their ballot before and on Election Day.
The American people also set a new record for early voting, with 101 million ballots cast before Election Day.
Madison Cawthorn from North Carolina was the youngest person to be elected into Congress at only 25 years old.
LGBTQ representation in politics has also grown. Sarah McBride was elected as the first openly trans state senator in Delaware.
Mari Turner was the first non-binary state senator in Oklahoma's history.
Richie Torres and Mondaire Jones became the first openly gay black men elected to Congress.
Cori Bush was elected as Missouri's first black congresswoman, and Cynthia Loomis became Wyoming's first female senator.
And finally, Kamala Harris is projected to make history as the first woman, first black person, and first person of Indian descent to be elected to the office of vice president.
That's history in the making, folks. Another encouraging part of this election season came in the form of two candidates for Utah governor.
Several weeks ago, the two men came together in a joint ad campaign to show their respect for each other, the other's party, and the democratic process.
In their ad, the candidates, Chris Peterson and Spencer Cox, said, and I quote, "We can disagree without hating each other. We can debate issues without degrading each other's character. And win or lose in Utah, we work together."
That's really encouraging.
Yeah.
There's no joke to make here. That's just really nice.
Listen, we know that we've talked a lot about Christmas and politics today, so we're going to end with something completely different than either of those things.
Rachel, a director of Wildlife Emergency Services in California, was recently tasked with capturing an aggressive turkey.
Named Gerald?
Yes, Gerald, who has been on the run for 5 months.
Bystanders reported that Gerald prefers to attack people who are frail and elderly.
So, naturally, Rachel decided to dress up as an elderly woman to lure Gerald to his capture.
Our sources say Rachel might even make a special appearance as an honorary member of the freshman class during next week's Thanksgiving goose competition.
And even more exciting, Gerald the turkey may be filling in for the Thanksgiving goose.
Watch out, freshmen. Gerald is coming.
That's all we have for you tonight, folks. I'm Tess Hartley.
And I'm MT. And this is Hemlock Tonight.
Oh, that's good. The power makes perfect. Is that the signature?
nice signature. Good stuff. Got all
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch.
Yeah, maybe just gotta fix the main. Stop. Okay, okay. I see, I see. You into the furry fandoms? Yeah? Is that the stuff?
Hey everybody, my name is Dante Dvorak. I'm a freshman here at Gordon College, and today I'm going to play for y'all the oud over here. As it's a Greek and Armenian instrument, and it has 11 strings on it, all of which are doubled, except for the space net over here. Yeah, so this is it. Handmade actually here in Massachusetts by a luthier, Greek luthier. And I've been playing this for about 5 years now. And yeah, so yeah, today I'm going to be playing a traditional celebration piece, an Armenian celebration piece. You know, bring a little bit of, joy and cheer in these weird times. So, all right.
Mackenzie, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm texting my roommate. Give me like 1 sec.
We're in the middle of a show. You
Yeah,
really
no,
should
I
text
got
me.
it. 1 sec. Okay, good. Sorry. Yeah, no, all good. All good.
Okay, what was so important that you needed to interrupt the show?
Okay, remember that Chris Pratt cutout, the one in Lane?
Yeah, what about it?
Okay, you remember how it went like missing?
Okay, go on.
No one knew where it was?
Are you serious?
It's fine.
Honestly, I'm not even that surprised.
I mean, we were gonna give him back eventually.
That's Chris snapping.
Hey, no, I literally talked to the people at CEC. They said it was fine. We bargained with it a little bit. They said as long as I gave him back in like a timely manner, I wouldn't be prosecuted. So
I can't
it's
believe
fine.
you. Actually, you know what? I can. This isn't that surprising.
Yeah. Well, I almost snagged the other one, the Lupita Nyong'o one from like the Jinx stairwell too, but my room is kind of small and it wouldn't have fit. So yeah, I tried to bargain with CEC about it, but they were pretty firm.
You know, as they should be.
And now, time to turn the mood around. We here at Exit 17 have decided to talk to you all about something a little more serious that has affected our history.
It's something that's been pretty heavy on our hearts over the past few years and has incited protests, riots, looting.
It's something that has been debated across the country and has cultivated divide amongst families and friends.
It's something that's been pressing on all of our minds.
We need to address this before it goes any further. It's about time. Yeah, it's about time we talk about the absolute disaster that is the Oscar robbery of the 2005 classic film Sharkboy and Lavagirl, starring teen heartthrob Taylor Lautner and adult heartthrob George Lopez.
They were robbed, I tell you. Robbed.
To understand this travesty, I believe that you have to know the full timeline of these events. It's a tragedy that has affected the very fabric of our earthly existence since the dawn of time.
Don't believe us? We have proof.
Please give your undivided attention to the images that will appear before you.
The tragedy begins in the ancient Roman city of Pompeii. Around the year 79 AD, there was a disaster when Mount Vesuvius erupted and covered the town in deadly ash.
This killed the entire population of the city. The destruction of such a beautiful city caused unrest in Rome, which, amongst other issues, contributed to the untimely fall of the Roman Empire and showed humans the true raw power of molten lava.
The fall of the Roman Empire gave way to a new era, the era of European expansion. Since Rome was gone, there was no one to party and make art. Thus began the Dark Ages, and with all of those unhygienic people, of course, a deathly plague soon developed and killed off like half of the population. We know this disease as the Black Plague. With all this death and destruction came a lot of bodies. Many nations didn't know what to do with all these bodies, so they ultimately decided to throw them into the ocean. All these bodies being thrown into the ocean awoke ancient beasts that were asleep, deep in the depths of the water. These creatures are known today as sharks.
Soon, because people felt bored, the only thing they could think to do was explore. So Spain sent this little Italian guy named Christopher Columbus sailing. He landed on America and called dibs, even though there were plenty of civilizations already living there.
Since a new land was discovered, everyone wanted a part of it. Spain, England, Norway, like the Vikings, and so on. The English colonies of the north created the majority of the population. Soon the colonies decided that they were done with the king and all of his taxes, so they said nope, waged war, and won.
And it was well documented in the 2015 Broadway musical Hamilton, so we don't really need to discuss that any further.
Moving on.
There were so many new people on the East Coast that it got crowded and they all started traveling west. They settled down in places like California and Oregon and Michigan, more on that later.
Since they were all traveling on horses, cowboys became a thing. Ye, and I cannot stress this enough, ha.
Cowboys fight aliens, age-old story, everybody knows it, no need to further explanation on that event.
However, some of the aliens survived and eventually took on human form to assimilate with the rest of the population. One of these aliens, of course, was Taylor Dooley, the actress who played Lavagirl.
But, as with everything, time continues to march, and with the passage of time comes more expansion. This expansion soon brought people to the fine state of Michigan, Around 1873, a very special man settled down in the Grand Rapids area. That man was named Didgeridoo Lautner, and he was the ancestor of the famed Taylor Lautner.
From the stump of Didgeridoo will come the boy that is destined for greatness.
Of course, Didgeridoo lived in ignorance of the greatness that his offspring would create, and time continued to move. And eventually, an institution known as the Academy, led by the mysterious Oscar O. Oscar, created an award known as the Oscars. This prestigious award progressed into what we know today as the Grammys. However, people didn't really like this name, so years later they made another organization called the Oscars again. In 1924, a high-ranking member of the Academy took a trip to the beautiful state of Hawaii and said, and I quote, "It was okay, not as nice as everyone says though. Do you know what two things are in Hawaii? Sharks and lava."
This marks the beginning of the Academy's deep hatred of sharks and lava. Now we move forward a couple of years. We're in the midst of World War II, and the world is plunged into deadly combat. In order to get an edge, America creates a program known as the Manhattan Project. This mysterious project had the goal of splitting the atom to create atomic bombs. However, there's something that they did not anticipate. In their pursuit to cut the atom, they created one strange byproduct. They unknowingly created Robert Rodriguez. The man is not only a mortal, omniscient being created in the lab, but he's also the director of the cinematic experience known as Sharkboy and Lavagirl.
The timeline goes relatively silent from here, and there's not a lot of activity for many years. Through countless hours of research, we have discovered that these events continue in 1997. Robert Rodriguez met the young Taylor Lautner and knew he was destined for greatness. Rodriguez pledged to use Lautner's raw talent to create the best cinematic experience known to man. He reached out to his contacts and gathered a team.
A team made up of an alien known as Taylor Dooley, a young boy named Taylor Lautner, and famous Hollywood heartthrob George Lopez.
With this team gathered, production on Sharkboy and Lavagirl began in 2003, and we now know the fruits of their labor.
However, we all know what came to pass on that fateful evening in 2005. When the team was poised and ready to collect the Oscar they worked so arduously for, as we discussed earlier, the Academy had something against sharks and lava. They had seen the raw power that these elements had, and it made them afraid. So when they were confronted with a film about both sharks and lava in human form, I can't even bear to say what happened.
It's okay. I will bear this burden. Someone else won. I think it was like $1 million babies or something. I don't know. It's not that important.
We still feel the wounds and heartbreak from that fateful day. And now we pass on this burden to you. Now you also know the true crime that was committed when Sharkboy and Lavagirl lost the 2005 Oscars.
What was the point of this?
I don't remember.
We had a bunch of like really funny Gordon jokes lined up, but I think explaining that timeline took all the time we had for this segment.
Well, I guess we'll have to save our super funny Goodbye DML musical for another time.
Yeah, it's hilarious, but it would appear so.
Well, in other news, you can see our brand new Broadway show titled Lindsay, Lindsay, Sweet Lindsay, My Heart Sings to Thee, when we premiere it next spring.
Thank you all for joining us in this pre-recorded edition of Exit 17. Thank you for being with us during this weird time and sticking with us, even in the midst of a pandemic. That's all we have for you tonight. This has been Exit 17.